All right, broski, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about work-life balance. Okay, work-life balance it's a lie, it's a scam. It's something you shouldn't listen to if you are somebody who wants a lot out of life. Okay, if you want extreme results, don't think about work-life balance. So you hear a lot of people talking about work-life balance. They'll say things like you're working too hard, spending too much time on this project or your business, spending too much time in the gym, or maybe you go to work and then go to the gym afterwards, and then you go try to get some work done in your business. You're trying to cram it all in. People will say you need to establish work-life balance, which basically means you need to equalize everything. You need to balance everything out, right? So that you're not going too extreme in one direction. The problem that I've had is that I realized when I began my journey of really focusing on improving myself and trying to achieve the goals I wanted to achieve is that trying to have work-life balance while also getting yourself out of hell is basically impossible, okay? It's not practical. It makes no sense. Would you be balanced if you were stuck in an extremely horrible situation? Would you be balanced in your efforts to escape it? Would you be balanced in your approach if, you're being chased by some wild animal in the woods who's going to rip you apart into shreds, right? Like, would you be balanced in some extreme situation? The answer is no, right? Unless you want to fucking die, then no, the answer would be no. So why is it that we try to apply work-life balance to our lives when we want extreme results, right? If in 1 year you want to change your life, how the fuck do you expect to do that while maintaining work-life balance? Makes no sense, right? When I started on my journey, okay, I was working a job, trying to figure out what to do like for businesses and all this stuff. Going to the gym basically 6 days a week while working, right, a job, and even at that, a job that was like physical labor. That was a lot. That was extreme. That probably wasn't healthy, right? To go to work, come home, go to the gym for another hour and a half, come home, try to figure out business. I was burning out. But the thing about that was that I was in a position beforehand where I was stuck, right? I was in a bad place. I was in a hell of sorts, right? Now, obviously not like literally or anything super bad, but within my mind and within the habits that I had self-destructive habits. And so that leads you slowly over time to a place where you're destroying yourself, right? So that's what I mean when I say hell, is when you're living a life on a consistent basis where you just have these habits where you're just like destroying yourself. And it's not even really your fault. We live in a new age with all this new technology. We're trying to figure it all out. But basically, when you're in this situation and you're trying to get out, trying to get rid of all your bad habits, you're trying to, get to a point where you can be making a lot of money and have freedom and be able to quit the job that you hate so much, or, get into the gym and really start building some muscle, changing your physique. It's not the time to be balanced. It's not the time to be thinking about, oh, I got to balance this out, I'm going to burn out. Because what you need to do in order to actually get out of this zone, what worked for me at least, and if you're like me, this would work for you, is you have to go extreme. So for a long time, you've been extreme into bad habits, right? You've been extreme into playing video games, right? Like for me, I would play video games literally, maybe 8 hours. I could literally go 8 straight fucking hours playing video games. Now that's extreme, okay? But guess what? I got super good at that game. I was one of the best. Okay, nobody could freaking take me in that game. So you see, extreme action and extreme effort really gives you extreme results. If you look at somebody who came from the bottom and is now a multimillionaire or a billionaire, their life isn't going to have a bunch of work-life balance. You're not going to see it and be like, oh, this was the perfect, life. He went to the gym every single day. He did his morning routine every day. He was able to get in enough time with his family every day. It doesn't really work like that. Right? You're not going to get those extreme results while trying to do everything else, because as you get higher and higher up, the competition becomes more fierce, right? The people who are up at the top, that's all they do. They spend all their time just working on their business. They're not spending 10 hours preparing for a bodybuilding competition, right? Or if you want to become like a bodybuilder, a good example of that would be, those guys spend half of their day at least in the gym, right? And then the other half is just like planning out their meals, planning out like where they are with like their bulk and cut cycle. So that's what they do because they're extreme. They want to get to an extreme place. So for you right now, if you're in a position where you still have all these bad habits and you want to kind of want to go down this road of getting out of that place, getting out of that dark place, that hell, you need to do what they call monk mode, right? That's the big thing that they call it now on YouTube. If you look at all these videos with like that are based around like improving yourself, they call it like monk mode. And essentially the way I see this is you're just going extreme, right? It's almost like phases, or there's a cycle. So the way I look at things is more in a cyclical nature, right? More like a cycle. So for one cycle, you might be super focused on the gym and building your body. On another cycle, you may be super focused on your relationships and your family and trying to bring that together. On another cycle, you may be really focused on building your business or getting, the job that you want to get and actually making money. Things go cyclical, right? If you want to make any meaningful progress, things are going to be cyclical. It's not all going to just go at like an even keel like this the whole time. And that's exactly what work-life balance is. That's the whole idea. The other problem I have with this is the idea that work and your life are somehow separate. You know what I mean? It's this whole thing where it's kind of this holdover from, these past 100 years with the industrialization, right? Where you'd go to work for 8 hours, come home from 8 hours, and have 8 hours to do whatever you want to do. It's that whole kind of mentality of your work is separate from your life, okay? And I don't like that mentality because we spend so much of our time working that why not integrate it so that instead of it being work-life balance, it's your life's work, right? Think about it as you want to find something that you can do where you want to do it all day, right? Or at least you enjoy doing it when you're doing it so much that you don't really want to give up on it, right? You want to make that like a flow state for you. So instead of work-life balance, try to find your life's work, okay? Cancel out the work-life balance idea because especially for you right now, if you're just getting started, you need to take extreme action. You need to get extreme and get escape velocity. Once you get escape velocity and you're in motion, right? It's just like inertia. You're going to keep going. So you don't have to go so hard once you get moving. But to start, you need to go extreme. So get the idea of work-life balance out of your head. You don't need to balance everything. You need to find the one thing, the one goal that is the most important thing to you right now. Is that, is that fitness for you? Is that getting your health together? Is that quitting the addictions you have? Is that, getting a job? Is that building your business? What is that one thing that really will have the biggest impact on your life this year? Over the next 6 months, 12 months. Really find what that one thing is and forget about work-life balance. Think in your mind, this is going to be my life's work. We're getting rid of the idea of work-life balance. Work-life balance doesn't matter. All that matters is my life's work. And my life's work right now is to achieve this goal, right? As fast as possible and at any cost. Well, maybe not any cost, but as many things as you can sacrifice in order to get there, right? That will allow you to get there faster. The more things that you sacrifice, the more things that you cut out, that you can focus your attention in, right? Obviously, the more you focus, the faster you're going to get somewhere. So the more you can do that, the faster you're going to move. And the faster you move, the faster you're going to get it done. So be extreme. There's no need to try to do this whole work-life balance thing. It's always irritated me. For a time, I believed in it and I would try to balance everything out. But when you try to balance everything out, what happens is you don't really move anywhere any time like quickly, anytime fast, right? You're stuck because you're just putting in a little point here, a little point here, a little point here, trying to maintain everything and grow at the same time. Whereas if you just put all your focus in and you went extreme on one thing, you'd have it, 5 times faster. So that's the way I look at it. I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think about that with the whole work-life balance thing. I just really think that this is a stupid idea. That's kind of a holdover from people doing things that they don't like, working in factories. I don't see the point in trying to have this whole work-life balance thing and keeping it separate. Why is your work separate from the rest of your life? It should all be integrated, right? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have like time limits on your work where, And this section here, you're going to be working for 4 hours of the day, right? You're going to be working like with one section of the day, you're going to be working for 4 hours. The next section for the next 4 hours, you're going to be doing like the gym and what other routines you may have. I'm not saying don't set time limits. I'm just saying psychologically within your mind and the mindset that you have about your work, there's no reason to cut it off and try to make two separate things, which is like, oh, the life I actually like living and then my work, which I hate, right? That's usually how people use it. It's like, oh yeah, over here is like my work, quote unquote, work life for 8 hours that I hate and don't really like. And then over here, I get to live my real life. It's like, why? Why do that? Just find your life's work so that when you're over here and you're spending the time working, that contributes to the rest of your life, and vice versa. What you're doing in your life over here contributes to your work, right? It should just be a full circle. It shouldn't be cut off. It shouldn't be separate. So that's the way I'm looking at it right now. Be cyclical, be extreme. Don't fall for this work-life balance bullshit. And if you have people telling you, hey, you're spending too much time in the gym. Hey, you're spending too much time at work. Really take the time to think about, is that true? Am I spending too much time, or am I in a position where I need to create that escape velocity so I can get the inertia and get moving, and then I can kind of pull it back a bit? Because you might be at the level where you need to be going that extreme. You need to be going that hard every single day, right? You might need to be in the gym 6 days a week. You might need to be in the gym 5 days a week to create that habit, to create that inertia so that you can get going. See, for me, if I had started out, the reason why when I started getting back into the gym, I did my gym transformation video. You can go see it. 2019, I did a few months here and there throughout the few months. I didn't really make any progress, but the C19 hit and I kind of quit. When I got back into it 2 years later, I told myself, I need to go extreme. I need to put the pressure on myself, on my situation, so that I'm actually focused on this. And so I was spending a lot of time in the gym, right? 6 days a week, an hour, hour and a half. That's a ton of time in the gym compared to a lot of people, right? But by doing that, I was able to establish the habit of being consistent, of making progress, of having that sort of ironclad mindset to stay disciplined, right? I developed my discipline like crazy. So there's different seasons and different cycles where you need to be extreme. You need to go hard, and you can't be afraid of trying to maintain everything at once. Because a lot of people try to do that. They try to maintain everything. They try to go to the gym for 2 days a week. They try to work on their business 1 hour a week. Come on, man. You're not gonna do it. You're just not gonna do it, because the other side of it, like I mentioned, was you're not gonna be able to form the habit. If you're doing something, if something's really important to you and you're only doing it 1 day a week, it's not that important to you. Like, let's just be real, like real talk. If you claim that something's really important to you and you're only doing it 1 day per week, 2 days per week, and you're only spending an hour or two on that thing, the majority of your time is being spent somewhere else. So you obviously don't think that thing is that important. So really sit down and think about, what is the most important goal I have? And then think about that as it being your life's work. Go hard on that thing. Go extreme with it. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the people who are telling you, hey, you need to chill out. You're going too fast. Because some of those people might be crabs in a bucket, right? Some of those people might be wanting to keep you down because they're afraid of your success. And the ones that aren't might actually be concerned for you, but you need to think for yourself and decide, am I at that point where I actually really need to push right now to get what I want? So that's my take on it. The work-life balance thing. Never really liked the idea of it, just for those reasons. Let me know what you think down in the comment. If you want any more help with this, check the links down in the description. We've got a Discord, a community of guys, like-minded men, all working to improve ourselves, better ourselves. So hop in there, and maybe I'll see you in there.